In this video, I'm going to show you 10 pro UXUI tips that you can apply today to take your Power BI filter panes to the next level. Let's jump in. Tip number 1, include what matters. First, you need to understand who will use the report and what decisions they will make with it. That information is going to help you decide which filters are truly needed. Don't add unnecessary filters. Unneeded filters just create noise and decision fatigue. Only include filters that will help answer the key questions your users will have. Ask yourself, will my users miss this filter if it's not there? The answer is no, just remove it. Tip number 2, group your filters. Place related fields together so the pane feels structured and not random. In this example here, we can see we have related date and product filters not grouped. Now, if the filters come from the same dimension, typically you want to group them together. Within each group, follow the natural hierarchy if one exists. So for example, a product rolls up to a product category. So we can see here that we have the product category right above the product name. Now, this small adjustment allows the user to have a faster, cleaner, and more structured filtering experience. Tip number 3, order your filters. Order your filter groups and filters in the most logical order based on how your users will use the report. For example, I usually keep date-related filters at the top because it's one of the most common first steps when exploring data. Your filters and their order will affect your user's journey. So ask yourself, if you were the user, what would you most likely filter first, second, and then third? And to know for sure, you need to understand the purpose of the report by connecting with those key users first. Tip number 4, rename your filters. Rename your filter fields so they match your audience's terminology. Avoid vague names like category or name or using the actual dataset field names if they aren't user-friendly names. Instead, consider descriptive prefixes like item category and item name. Doing this also helps make it clear the fields are related. Use friendly names like country instead of country short. The goal is for your users to be able to instantly recognize those filters without thinking or guessing. Tip number 5, adjust your filter pane width. Pay attention to the width of your filter panes to see if any field names have been cut off slightly. And if you notice any have been, just adjust that filter pane width so the full names will show. Labels that are cut off just look sloppy, and they force our users to have to hover and guess sometimes. Now, this is just a small detail, but these are the type of details that separate a basic report from a UX/UI design report. Tip number 6, customize your filter pane theme. Most developers never customize the filter pane. They'll just leave it white on white with the default gray applied status. A simple improvement would be just changing the filter pane background to a soft gray so the default filters in search bar stand out a little bit better with clearer contrast when you leave both of them with a white background. Now, another pro move is changing your applied filter background color to a color that aligns with your report's theme or brand. It's going to help make your filter pane feel more intentional and connected to the design. You can even add a darker border color around that applied filter, which will make the filtered state even more obvious and stand out at a glance. Tip number 7, add visual anchors when needed. Sometimes when we have a lot of filters, it can be difficult for some users to find what they're looking for, even with perfect grouping and ordering. Now they can use the search, but we really don't want them to need to have to use that. For unavoidable long lists of filters, small visual cues or visual anchors like character symbols or emojis can make scanning filters much faster. For example, these blue globes right here provide a completely different contrast versus the brown product boxes above it. This makes it easy for a user to recognize a filter group and remember where it is next time. This is especially helpful on universal reports that serve many user types and therefore need more filter options. However, you have to be very careful using these You don't want your filters to distract from the report and become noisy. Stick to more neutral colors, flat symbols when possible, and make sure its intended purpose is actually working. If it's too distracting for your users, get rid of them. These aren't required. These are just another tool in our UXUI tool chest that can help break up those filter groups when needed. Tip number 8, guide with steps when needed. If you want your audience to follow a specific sequence, consider adding numbered guidance to your filters. We can see here we simply put a number 1 on the top filter, and then we put 2 through 5 on the remaining filters. And this can be helpful when it's important that your users pick certain filters first, so they only see insights relevant to them. And you could even use bold number emojis to make each numbered step stand out just a little bit more visually to your audience. Tip number 9, use locked and hidden filters strategically. When you want to keep a report page locked to a specific filter and visible, place that filter at the top and lock it while leaving it showing so your users can see it but not change it. Maybe you want to make sure your audience knows that the report page is only showing the current fiscal year. This would be a great way to do that. Now, on the other hand, hidden filters are perfect for criteria that users do not need to see, such as excluding maybe test data or removing inactive products or hiding periods of time. For example, like we can see right here, it's much cleaner to be clear in our title versus showing them the actual month offset filters that we have applied. Tip number 10, use the right filter type. Use filters on all pages when you want a selection to follow the user across the entire report. Use filters on this page when the page is its own dedicated view, with its own specific report and bookmark views within it. Now, filters on this visual should usually have all of the filters hidden from the users. I personally always hide my visual filters. Leaving these shown, especially with table visuals, just leads to a messy experience where you can have duplication and potential for issues, such as, for example, if a user filters through a hidden filter and then forgets about it. If a visual truly needs a separate selection that the user can control, use a visual slicer or field parameter on the canvas instead, and then control those interactions so it only affects the visual. Now, since you stayed to the end of this video, which I truly appreciate, I'm going to share with you 3 more bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1, use friendly name choices within your filters. For example, if you have, let's say, a store status field, like we see here, the options for the user should be active and inactive, not 0 and 1. We need to remember what makes sense to us doesn't always make sense to our users. Bonus tip number 2, update existing default bookmarks. If you use bookmarks to create default views, remember that bookmarks also store filter states when you have data checked. So anytime you change your default filters, make sure you're updating the bookmark again if you have data checked. If you don't and you forget, and what will happen is your users will click the reset button and that filter won't hold because you didn't update the bookmark. And bonus tip number 3, make your IDs searchable. Here we can see an example of a UPC field brought into the model as a number format. When IDs are in number format, our users can't easily search for multiple ones quickly. Now, if your users need to search by an ID or quickly filter the page to 1 or more IDs, you need to make sure that ID column is in text format, not numeric. Or you can create a second version of the column as text if you need to. Text formatted IDs allow users to type or paste the value directly into the search box. And once they find one and select it, they can go back and search for more if they need to and check those after. So it's just a better overall experience for the user. So those were my pro UXUI tips to improve your filter pane. When you stack these all together, your filter panes become faster, cleaner, intuitive, and ultimately improves both your UI and your UX. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, Click the notification button. That way you'll be notified when I come out with additional videos related to Power BI UXUI design. Next, go ahead and check out part 3 of this special Power BI Filter Pane UXUI mini-series. In part 3, we're going to cover the how, and together we're going to design and build these 3 filter panes from scratch.